Good evening, everyone. I hope you've had a wonderful day and having a nice, relaxing night. Today, I have just a little bit of a vlog for you, and you may notice I'm going to try to do this bilingually in that I'm making two videos for this video, which I think I want to try to do a little bit more because in the past I've either decided to do an English video or a French video, and I've kind of like towed the line between the two, and I kind of want to try to unify them a bit more. And I'm also taking some inspiration from Maria Gentle Whispering, who of course everyone loves, because she creates quite a few videos in English and in Russian, and I often watch both just because I don't understand Russian, but I just love the opportunity to both enjoy the slightly accented English and to listen to speech sounds that I don't understand, if that makes sense. It's kind of weird, but I've gotten a couple comments on my French videos and on my English videos actually of people that don't speak the language of the video, which is really interesting to me because I love that too. So while I do my little vloggy video, this is mostly a talky video, so I'm going to try to speak softly, and sometimes I speak much too quickly, and so I'm going to try to slow myself down, and I'm also going to be doing a little bit of whispering because this mic is able to do a little bit of binaural ear-to-ear panning, which is very nice. So hopefully we'll be able to take advantage of that. And while I do that, I have my notebook with me, just a random thing. I've mentioned it before, that I really do ASMR videos as a hobby, and they're kind of, I don't want to say they're for me, because I love having a conversation with you all, because quite a few of you that have watched and commented on my videos are people I've watched myself, so it's kind of cool to have that conversation. But I was mostly inspired to start making ASMR videos because I myself enjoy it so much. And so when I think about what trigger sounds I want in a video or to make in my videos, it's easiest to start with ones I like myself. And this is a perfect example because I bought this notebook in Paris at the beginning of the semester almost entirely because I love the material. I've never owned a Moleskine before. Is that how you say it in English or in French? I don't know. In any language, I really only see it spelled Moleskine. Moleskine sounds weird, but it could be. I don't know. But just this little cover material is so nice. And so I haven't even written in this much, honestly. I have my bookmark in it right now, so maybe you can see that big section is all pages I haven't used. And that tiny little section, pages I have used. And the reason for that is because I have two other notebooks that I used for like taking notes in class, and I also have an agenda which has like a day-by-day planner. So this was for more personal or random jot notes. Anyway, so why did I want to do a vlog today? Well, it's such a great question because I have so many video ideas and I'm getting really annoyed that I can't do them all. And the reason I can't do them all is because I'm at a homestay where I only have access to my one room, and the people in this building are currently recording this at 3:30 a.m. after having tried to do it once already today, earlier, because apparently midnight isn't late enough. People are still up doing all kinds of stuff very loudly. And I've also tried on 2 other days not to create this video, but to do another video idea I've had, an English one, which I'll probably do later. So I'm going to keep that in the back of my head. But yeah, I have a lot of ideas for videos that I'm really excited about. But I guess that's the first part of this update, and that's that I'm leaving Paris in 3 days. As I record this, it's 3:30 a.m. on May 13th to date this video very precisely. And my flight out of Charles de Gaulle is on May 16th. So, and I'm doing a stopover in Reykjavik before I continue back to the US, which is apparently fairly common because even though I didn't plan this, a friend of mine in the program here at my university has the exact same flight out of Paris to Reykjavik, even though we're going to 2 different US cities. So she's going to the northeast and I'm going to I'm going to Dulles. So do you call that the south? I have to drive from Dulles for like 5 hours because that's the easiest international airport. Well, one of. It had the best flight options. But anyway, yeah. So, my single, very short and very long semester in Paris is coming to an end. And I say very long because I hope that's not like a bad sound. I play with this all the time, the little band. But anyway, I say this was also a long semester just because I did so much. I visited London and Berlin and Prague and a couple of cities in the Loire Valley, like Angers, Chinon, and Angers was like the city that we visited. It was a very beautiful city, but the other places we went were very tiny, and they're pretty much there just for the chateau or the fortress or whatever is in that area. But, man, it's annoying me that I'm forgetting the name of the first town we went to, but Angers was like the one I really loved. That was such a cute town. Very cultural and had a lot of nice history stuff. It was very interesting to learn about. But yeah, so I've done a lot of visiting around different parts of Europe. I didn't do as much traveling as some students here did. And that's just because I got kind of physically tired of running around so much. A lot of people seem to have much more endurance than me. So I think our spring break was one of the latest ones I've ever had in my entire life. It was the very last weeks of April. It was 2 weeks though, which was really nice. But it was a very long semester where we didn't have any breaks, and then we have our first break at the very end. And so spring break ended at the beginning of May. We came back for 1 week of classes, and this is exam week. And I'm making this video as a celebration of finishing my exams, which I'll talk about in a little bit. But, after such a long semester, even though I had a 2-week spring break, I was so exhausted, I pretty much only had the energy to visit Prague, because I have a friend that studies there. And she and another friend had come to visit me, that in Paris, the weekend before, also during my spring break. So that was very nice, and I really enjoyed it, and it allowed me to really enjoy my time in Prague, because I got to be there for 4 days, and it let me relax as I showed my friends around Paris, which was really cool. But I have some other friends in my program here that went to Greece and to 3 cities in Italy and Madrid and Morocco, and it's just like, I can't imagine running around that much, especially since they didn't spend any time in Paris their whole spring break, which is so weird to me because we haven't had enough time to really get into the city in certain ways. Just that free time, you know what I mean? To walk around. I love walking around, just walking. I've walked around a good number of the arrondissement just to see different areas, not even to visit anything. I mean, usually I have like a vague goal in mind, but like, I'm not just going to see one thing. I'm usually going to feel a neighborhood, if that makes sense. So yeah, it's felt like a long semester just because I've done so much. So in that way, I'm kind of excited to go home. But in terms of academics, I'm also really glad that my classes are over, just because they got pretty demanding. My history class, which I did a video in French of me reading the textbook for, it was Contemporary French History, 1789 to present. That wasn't the title of the class, but that was the subject matter. And the exam was 3 questions, which is so stressful for me because I'm a detail-oriented person, and you can't study, what is that, almost 300 years? I guess not almost 300 years, but 250 almost years of history all at once in detail, knowing that you're only going to be asked about 3 things. So the exam was, how do you explain the power of communism in the 20th century in France, or the strength that it attained? The PCF, if you know anything about that party. How would you define the identity of the French Antilles, and what are the characteristics of the Fifth Republic? So I guess it didn't end up being nearly as detail-oriented as I thought. I was looking up laws and individual, like, mandat for the current presidents, and like all kinds of stuff. Like, I think before the exam started, I was cramming the precise dates of each president's term. I guess I should use that word instead of mandat. Each term, because in the Fifth Republic, at the beginning, it started out as a 7-year term. But then now here's the test. Do I actually know my French history? I believe it was under Jacques Chirac that it changed to a 5-year term. And so, like, you can't just start in 1958. You have to actually kind of know a little bit more. I'm going to flip through some of the pages. So that was yesterday that I had that exam. Yesterday, meaning Monday, not Tuesday. Because yesterday, which since I haven't slept is today for me, Tuesday, I had 2 exams. One in advanced composition and one in advanced conversation. And the composition one kicked my butt because I did not study. It was 95% my fault, 5% hard exam, which is unfortunate, but that's what I get for putting all of my time and energy into one class. And I know I had a day, but still. I like those thick paper sounds. So yeah, not feeling too hot about that, but I think I've gotten, the way the class worked is that we did a lot of writing assignments that were between 1.5 and 3.5 pages, pretty much one a week. And so it was like, this week write a synthèse, this week write a dissertation, this week write a critique or something like that. And the way it worked is you do it once, you turn it in, she'd correct the errors, and then if you retyped it with the corrections, you could go up 2 letter grades, or, like from a B plus to an A, or a B to an A minus. So I did that, and I think in the end I got an A minus on 2 of them and an A on everything else, and she drops the lowest 2. So other than the final, and I got a 97 on the midterm because it was a really easy midterm. So I'm not feeling that bad about the class, but I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't crush it. Conversation though. My very last exam today was so easy as a final. So it was a 15-minute meeting with the professor, which is like really good when you're buddy-buddy with the professor, because he was really cool and really nice. So yeah, the format was interesting because it was like 5 minutes of small talk, and then like 2 or 3 minutes of you reading an excerpt from a transcription we'd done throughout the semester. And then the last thing was to tell a short story of something that happened during your semester. So it was really, really easy. And I think it ended with just him saying, you really need to be a French major, not just a French minor. But I don't have the time to be a French major and a linguistics major and an ASL minor. Too many things to do. So yeah, that's academics. That's my semester. And I guess the last big thing, one of the huge things I'm excited for this summer is that I basically have the perfect setup to do a lot of things I love. So instead of going back to New York where I go to school, I'm going to be returning to my parents' home, and I'm going to be just staying at home over the summer. My mom works with the newspaper in my hometown. I almost said university for some reason. And so she manages delivery of newspapers in my hometown. And so I have the chance to be a substitute paper delivery boy, which is very 50s, and I love it. But I'm not going to be delivering on a bike. I have a car, which is another super exciting thing. I got a car. I've never had a car before. It wasn't totally a gift. It was like 75% my money, 25% my mom's gift to me. But I got a 2002 Prius, I believe. It was the make, before it had the Prius shape. But it was a pretty good deal. And my mom found it in South Carolina online while I was here. And so I actually haven't seen it yet or driven it or anything. 100% just trusting my mom and my dad. My dad's a little bit better with cars, so my mom did the finance stuff. My dad did the know what's going on mechanically stuff. So I'm really excited to have a car this summer, and so I'm going to be driving my own car, and I'm going to be delivering newspapers, and as you can probably expect, people want to have their newspaper in the morning. So it's a night job, which means I only work 1:30 a.m. to 6:30 a.m. at the extremes. I think Sundays I have until 7 a.m. to deliver, or something like that, a little bit longer. But I'm just really ready to have a job again, because this whole semester I haven't had a job, which is weird, because when I'm at school, during the normal school year, I work usually between 8 and 15 hours a week. And this semester I haven't worked at all, and it's just like, what am I doing? I'm just losing money. So I'm excited to have a job, and because I don't work every single night, that means I will be on that night schedule, but not always have something to do. And when's the best time to record ASMR videos but in the very middle of the night, when the entire world is asleep and not making annoying, loud noises. I do miss my very quiet countryside hometown, because Paris is so loud sometimes. New York's loud too, but all of the buildings are really tall. And when you live on the 15th floor, you really don't notice. But when you're on the second floor in the European numbering system, third floor in American, you live on the third floor or something like that, you hear everything. Oh my god. It's so annoying. Like, there is this construction that's going on 3 buildings down. I know which building it is, but they drill every day at 9 a.m. and don't stop until 4 p.m. except for their very long French lunch. And, sorry, I'm really bitter because it wakes me up when I want to sleep in. This semester, on Mondays and Wednesdays, my first class was at 12:30, which was awesome. Loved it. Usually I start at 9 or 11. And it didn't let me relax. There was just drilling and construction work, and it was really loud. So, yeah. I'm ready to be rid of that aspect. But there's so much about Paris I'm gonna miss. Mostly just being able to speak French all the time. I'm really stressed out that I'm going to lose my French. And that's why I want to continue making ASMR videos in French in addition to English, because it's really easy to do a video in English, but to do one in French, I kind of prepare a little bit. I usually learn some new vocabulary and use it. Like with the pack of cards video, which I want to actually redo in English at some point. I learned the words for the suits. So hearts, spades, clubs, and diamonds. Which in French is cœur, which is easy. It's the same word for the heart. Carreau, which is also really easy because it's just a shape. But then pique et trèfle is like not a word you would ever guess. So it was cool to just have a reason to look that up and learn that. So, if the linguistics thing doesn't work out, I move to Vegas with my grandma, and then I work in a casino. I can help out with French guests who are confused about gambling, maybe. Sounds like a good career plan. Backup. Gotta have that backup plan. But yeah. So, in terms of when to expect videos again, I'm gonna need a little bit of readjustment time in the US. Not to get used to the US, but to get settled. Get my job set up. Make sure I can do it, because it's not an easy job. Because you pretty much have one delivery person on a route. But I'm like not a normal route. I'm a substitute, so I'm when they call in sick or something. More or less. And that means that I'm never going to be running a route I really know. But I'm going to be taking the place of someone who runs that route 7 days a week and has done that for 20 years or something, like bizarrely long like that. And so they don't need to put little stickers on mailboxes to tell them who gets a paper when. They just know, they just remember. They've talked to all these customers in person. I haven't, so I have to have a list of names and addresses. And you can't see every address at night at 3 a.m. So I've done it with my mom once before. And I know what kind of job it is, but I'm kind of excited for that bit of the challenge. And I'm also excited to get to listen to like 1 billion hours of audiobooks and podcasts. Because I have not been reading nearly as much as I like to. So I want to get back into some books.